My dear students, good morning all of you. Today topic is body is projected vertically up. Yesterday we discussed about the motion under gravity and also freely falling bodies. Today first we have to find out what are the equations of motion for a body projected vertically up. So, first one is equations of motion of a body projected vertically up. In that particular case, whenever the body is projected vertically up, the only one quantity that changes that A becomes minus G. That is, in this case, A is equals to minus G only. Now the base equation is known, V is equals to U plus AT. In that you can write V is equals to U minus GT is the first equation. Second one is S is equal to UT plus half AT square, which implies S is equal to UT minus half GT square is the second equation. Third equation is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. That is V square minus U square is minus 2GS. And fourth one is Sn is equal to U plus A into N minus half, which implies Sn is equal to U minus G into N minus half. So, in all the cases, only A becomes minus G. So, first equation V is equal to U minus GT. Second equation S is equal to UT minus half GT square. V square minus 2G, minus 2GS. And Sn is equal to U minus G into N minus half. These are the equations of motion in case of a body projected vertically up. Once you got the idea of this, what is the expression for the maximum height reached? So first one is expression for maximum height. That is, whenever consider a body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u. When it reaches the maximum height, its final velocity becomes 0. But while traveling this, it covers a distance S is equal to h max and A becomes minus. So, consider a body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u. When it reaches the maximum height, h max, its final velocity is 0. That is, V is equals to 0. This is what you have to assume first. Consider a body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u. When it reaches the maximum height h max, the final velocity becomes 0. This is the first assumption that we have to make. Once you got the idea of this, then here what are the known quantities? U is known, V is known. Therefore, substitute these values in the equation. V square minus U square is equals to 2S. Because V, U, A and S are known, basing on that. Therefore, 0 minus u square is equal to 2 into minus g into h max. For minus u square is minus 2g h max. These two gets cancelled. H maximum is equal to u square by 2g. This is the expression for maximum height. So the maximum height reached with the body is known. For example, here if g is constant, then what happened? H maximum is always proportional to u square, which implies h1 by h2 can be written as u1 square by u2 square. This is the first thing. That means when g is constant, mass height is proportional square of the initial velocity. As the velocity is more, the mass height reached will be more. And the second one, if u is constant, then what happened? H maximum is proportional to 1 by g. Therefore, h1 by h2 is equals to g2 by g1. That is g2 by g1 here we are going to get. That means as g increases, the mass height reached will be decreases and vice versa. This is about the expression for the maximum height reached. Then come to the other one, expression for time of ascent. What do you mean by this expression for time of ascent? Time of ascent means the time taken by the body to reach the maximum height is called as time of ascent, which is given by t is equals to ta. Therefore, the point here is the time taken by the body to reach the maximum height is called time of ascent. The time taken by the body to reach the maximum height is called time of ascent. Here what happened? Already we got it. Initial velocity is known as u. Final velocity also known as v is equals to 0. And then acceleration a is equals to minus g, and time t is equals to t. Once you know that, you know u, v, a and t, so we can use v is equals to u plus at, basic equation. Then v is 0 u minus gta, or gta is equals to u. Therefore, the ta is equals to u by g. Therefore, time of ascent ta is equals to u by g. Got it here? So, when u, v, a and are known, v is equal to u plus at, basic equation. In that, if you substitute these values, then ta is obtained as u by g. That is, the time of ascent is u by g. Once you got it, then what is the expression for next one is expression for time of descent. That is the next one. What is meant by time of descent? Time of descent means the time taken by the body to reach the ground from the maximum height is called as the time of descent. That is the time taken by the body to reach the ground from the maximum height is called time of descent. The time taken by the body to reach the ground from the maximum height is called time of descent. Suppose this is the point after reaching this. Again, it falls onto the ground. For our convenience, we are taking like this. This is already, we know that this is Hmax. Now, here, while it is coming back, this becomes the initial velocity. The time is nothing but time of descent. Now, in downward motion, V becomes the initial velocity. That we know that. And then you can easily calculate. So, first thing here, the final velocity V in upward motion will be the initial velocity in downward motion. If you know that point here, whenever you consider downward motion, A becomes plus G. So you know SC is already known as H maximum and A is known, initial velocity is V. Therefore, we can substitute the equations. That means here what to do is, we can apply S is equals to Vt plus of At square. Because that V becomes the initial velocity in the downward motion, then S is equal to H max, that V is equals to 0 plus of G into Td square. But H maximum can be written as U square by 2G, that is of G into Td square. These two cancel, therefore Td square is equal to U square by G square, which implies Td is equals to U by G. This is the time of descent. Actually, plus or minus U by G, time can never be negative. So time of descent is given by U by G. So what is the total time of flight? Therefore, the total time of flight is always given by capital T is equals to Ta plus Td, that is nothing but 2U by G is the formula for the total time of flight. This is about the time of ascent and the time of descent. And also we have another one. The next one is expression for velocity while reaching the point of projection. Expression for velocity while reaching the point of projection. For that, let us consider a body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u. When it reaches the maximum height, it falls onto the ground. Let us say it strikes the ground with a velocity v1. That while reaching the maximum height, its final velocity is 0. That is h maximum is here while moving up. This is what we are going to consider. So, first thing, whenever you consider this point, in downward motion, what you are going to get? v1 square minus v square is equals to 2as. Then v1 square is v1 square minus 0 2 into g into h max. Therefore v1 square is 2g into h maximum can be written as u square by 2g. Therefore v1 square is equal to u square, or v1 is plus or minus u. That means whenever the body reaches the point of projection, the magnitude of the velocity is same, but direction is opposite. So, the point here what you have to write is, when a body reaches the point of projection, its velocity is same as velocity of projection in magnitude and opposite in direction. So, when a body reaches the point of projection, its velocity is same as velocity of projection in magnitude and opposite in direction. This is another important. And finally, next one is expression for height of a tower. What is the expression for height of a tower? This is another thing. Let us consider a body is projected vertically up from the top of a tower of height h. If it is projected vertically up from the top of the tower with an initial velocity u, while reaching the maximum height, its velocity becomes 0. It reaches a maximum height x, and then the velocity becomes 0, and finally it comes back. This is the point A, B, this is the point C, and let us say this is the point D. So, what you have to assume is, consider a body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u from the top of a tower of height h. When it reaches the maximum height x, its velocity becomes 0 at point B and then falls onto the ground. Then, that is the first we have to assume. Consider A body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u. From the top of a tower. Of height h. When it reaches a maximum height x, its velocity becomes 0 at point B, and then falls onto the ground. This is the assumption that we have to take. But here there are two things that you can observe. From A to B there is an upward motion, and from B to D there is a downward motion. While deriving the expression for the height of the tower, we should use the sign convention. So, this is the first assumption that what we have to make. And once you got the idea of this, for this, what to do in this case is sign convention we have to use. That sign convention is, first point, in upward motion, displacement and velocity should be taken as positive. Second one, in downward motion, displacement and velocity should be taken as negative. This is the first assumption that we have to make while calculating the. So here what you are given, the upward motion, displacement velocity should be taken as positive. In downward motion, displacement velocity should be taken as negative. Once you got it, now it is easy. Regarding this, first if you calculate net displacement, S is equal to, in upward motion displacement is x positive, downward motion negative. So x minus of h plus x, that is x minus h minus x. So displacement is obtained as minus h. And now acceleration, when you are taking only in upward direction, acceleration a is equals to minus g, and time of travel we are assuming as t. Once you got the idea of this, then we had a formula S is equal to ut plus of at square, that is minus h is equals to ut minus of gt square, or h is equals to minus ut plus of gt square is the base formula. This is the height of tower. Whenever a body is projected vertically up from a certain height above the ground, then we must always consider the equation of height of tower. That is h is equal to minus ut plus half gt square. Is it clear? This is about the important formulas related to the bodies projected vertically up. Then what type of understanding and skill questions that may come from this? You may be asked that understanding questions. Regarding these understanding questions, you may be given. The first one is how the time of ascent and time of descent are related when the air resistance is not considered. How the time of ascent and time of descent are related. A bit when air resistance is not considered, B bit when air resistance is considered. This is the question. In the derivation, what you observe, time of ascent is u by g, time of descent is u by g. This is applicable only when air resistance is not considered. So, answer for this, when you take A bit when air resistance is not considered or in vacuum, time of ascent is equals to time of descent. When air resistance is not considered or in vacuum, time of ascent is equal to time of descent. The second one is when air resistance is considered, then the time of ascent is always less than time of descent. So, we are taking all the equations under ideal condition that air resistance is not taken into consideration. That's why we got it, time of ascent is equal to time of descent and is equal to u by g. But if the air resistance is also taken into account, then the time of ascent is always less than that of the time of descent. This is one theoretical question. You may be asked another question like this. The other one is, you may be given, the second question is, two bodies of different densities and of same mass are dropped from the same height. Two bodies of different densities and of same mass are dropped from the same height. Then, which body will reach the ground earlier? If A bit air resistance is not considered, B bit air resistance is considered. In that case, what happened? Air resistance is not considered. So first thing is, when air resistance is not considered, or in vacuum, both the bodies reach the ground at the same time. When air resistance is not considered or in vacuum, both bodies reach the ground at the same time. Or otherwise, here you can always say that when air resistance is considered, then when air resistance is considered, then the denser body will reach the ground earlier. The denser body will reach the ground earlier. Suppose you take 1 kg of iron, 1 kg of cotton. The density of iron is more than that of the cotton, so that what happens? Iron will reach the ground earlier. So it only depends on the density when air resistance is considered. If you are not considering air resistance, either 1 kg of iron or 1 kg of cotton, both will reach the ground at the same time or simultaneously. This is about the conceptual question. And now, what type of skill questions that may come from this? Now come to the other one, skill questions. Regarding these skill questions, you may be asked that a body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u. A body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity u. It crosses the points capital P, comma, capital Q, comma, capital R in its path. It crosses the points P, Q, R in its path with the velocities. U by 2, U by 3 and U by 4 respectively. It crosses the points P, Q, R in its path with the velocities U by 2, U by 3 and U by 4 respectively. Then find the distance and find the ratio of distance between PQ and QR. You may be asked with a question like this. Then what to do? Once you got it, Now, first thing is here, the body is projected vertically with the velocity u. It crosses the points P, Q, R in its path, and all are moving upwards only. Here the velocity is u by 2. Here the velocity is u by 3. Here the velocity is u by 4. Suppose this is x and this is y. If I am taking, while traveling from P to Q, this becomes initial velocity and this becomes final velocity. And A is always given by throughout the journey, A becomes minus G. Therefore, we can apply V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. So first thing, while traveling from P to Q, then V square minus U square means U by 3 whole square minus U by 2 whole square is minus 2G into X. Because distance between P and Q is X only. Therefore, it is U square by 9 minus U square by 4 minus 2Gx. Minus 5U square by 36 is minus 2Gx. So this and this cancelled. This is equation 1. Next one is, while traveling from Q to R. While traveling from Q to R means this becomes final velocity, this becomes initial velocity. So U by 4 whole square minus U by 3 whole square is minus 2GY. U square by 16 minus U square by 9 minus 2GY. Minus 7U square by 144 is minus 2GY. Therefore, 7U square by 144 is 2GY. That is second equation. You got the relation between these two, so you have to find out x by y. Is it clear? Then, once you got it, 2gx by 2gy is equals to 5u square by 36 into 144 by 7u square. 4 times, it is 20 by 7 here, x by y. Therefore, x is to y is 20 is to 7 is the answer. This one skill question we have. Then now come to the other question, that is, a body is dropped from the top of a tower. Of height h. The body is dropped from the top of a tower of height h. At the same time, another body is projected vertically up with the velocity u from the foot of the tower. A body is dropped from the top of a tower of height h. At the same time, another body is projected vertically with a velocity u from the foot of the tower. Fine. Or otherwise, when and where the two stones will meet. The two stones will meet. This is the point we are going to get. Now how to solve this? A general solution, if you got it, we can easily calculate for any given numerical values. That is, this is a tower of height h, let us say. One body is dropped from this point, so the velocity is 0. Another one is projected vertically up. This is u2 is u and u1 is 0. Let us say both are meet at a height x above the ground in time t. So this is h minus x in time t. This is what we have to assume. One is falling under gravity, another one is projected vertically up. Let us say both are meeting at a height x above the ground in time t. That we have to assume. So first thing, let the two bodies will meet at a height x above the ground in time t. What you have to assume is two bodies will meet at a height x above the ground in time t. Now, for freely falling body, first if you consider for freely falling body, what you have to write? This covers a distance of h minus x. So, h minus x can be written as half gt square is the first equation. For a body projected vertically up, if you consider it covers a distance x, so x is equals to ut minus half gt square is the second equation. Now substitute equation 2 in equation 1. Then h minus of ut minus half gt square is equal to half gt square. H minus ut plus half gt square is equal to half gt square. These two gets cancelled. So h minus ut is equals to 0, or h is equals to ut, or t is equal to h by u. Therefore, time of meeting t is equal to h by u. A general solution is derived. For any given numerical values of h and u, you can easily calculate the time of meeting and also the height they meet. And another one is, you will be given that a body is projected vertically from the ground with a velocity u. A body is projected vertically up from the ground with a velocity u. After n seconds, after n seconds, after n seconds, another body, after n seconds, another body is projected vertically up from the same point with the same velocity. A body is projected vertically up from the ground with a velocity u. After n seconds, another body is projected vertically up from the same point with the same velocity. Find the time taken by the first body to meet the second body. Find the time taken by the first body to meet the second body. So, how to calculate this? A body is projected vertically up from the ground with a velocity u. After n seconds, another body is projected from the same point with the same velocity. Find the time taken by the first body to meet the second body. So for this what to do is, it is projected vertically, first body. Another body is also projected. Let us say both are meet at a height x above the ground. So for this what you have to do is, first thing, whenever it is projected vertically, they can meet when the first body is in the downward motion and the second body is in the upward motion, then only the two bodies will meet. Therefore first, what you have to assume is, let T1 be the time taken by the first body to meet the second body. T2 be the time taken by the second body to meet the first body. If you can assume like that, so net displacement of the first body is given by, for first body, net displacement S is equal to, here it travels in upward motion, displacement positive, in downward motion negative. Therefore H minus of H minus x. So S1 is equals to x. And once you got this, in upward motion acceleration is A1 is equals to minus g. Then we can substitute these numerical values. So time taken is T1 and initial velocity is u. If I take this is u1 and u2 also u. Then what you are going to get here? Once you got this one, S1 is equals to U1 T1 plus of A1 T1 square. Therefore, X is equals to UT1 minus of G T1 square. Now, for second body, that is X is equals to UT2 minus of G T2 square. So, compare equation 1 and equation 2. UT1 minus half GT1 square is equals to UT2 minus half GT2 square, or U into T1 minus T2 half G into T1 square minus T2 square. Therefore, U into T1 minus T2 half G into T1 minus T2 into T1 plus T2. Therefore, T1 plus T2 is obtained as 2U by G. Then, here what here given is this equation 3, T1 minus T2 is equals to N. That is, the time difference is given as N. So, add equation 3 and equation 4. Then 2T1 is equals to U by G plus N, or T1 is U by G plus N by N. So if you know the initial velocity and the time difference, you can easily calculate. This is time taken by first body to meet second body. Or suppose if you want T2, it is U by G minus N by 2. This is time taken by second body to meet first body. These are the points here we have. Like this, we can do as many number of models as we can based on the bodies projected vertically up. This is a motion in a straight line in one dimension, that is a horizontal motion, and thereafter motion under gravity. These are the points. So is it clear? So based on SMS you can do more number of models. Tomorrow we'll start another lesson, that is Newton's laws of motion. Okay, all the best. And thank you very much.